Probably the toughest part for Jay Leno was seeing Mavis wake up each day and struggle with moments of confusion. Every morning she would look at him as if seeing him for the first time, and he would gently guide her through the day with patience and care. Those early days were some of the hardest, not because of dramatic events or public attention, but because it was the repeated, quiet heartbreak of realizing the woman he had loved for decades was slowly changing before his eyes. It was not just about tears or sadness. It was about learning, over and over again, to meet her where she was, to support her in ways that required endless compassion. Jay's devotion during this time revealed a side of love that is rarely seen, the kind of love that stays steady not in moments of joy, but in moments of quiet struggle. A life built on connection. Jay and Mavis Leno's story did not begin with fame or glitzy Hollywood premieres. It began in the 1970s in the everyday hum of Los Angeles, where Jay was just another comedian working the comedy clubs, and Mavis was a quietly confident woman with a sharp wit. He liked her instantly. She appreciated his kindness. Their connection grew from these simple, sincere moments, and in 1980, they married, building a life that was surprisingly ordinary for Hollywood standards. There were no scandals, no tabloid headlines, no flashy displays, just two people who cherished each other's presence. For Jay, marrying Mavis was the smartest decision he ever made, long before anyone could imagine the challenges they would one day face together. Their life was simple, filled with quiet evenings at home, meaningful conversations, shared interests, and deep mutual respect. Living a life of respect. From the start, Mavis was clear about her desire not to have children, and Jay accepted that decision without question. Their lives were centered on shared values, mutual understanding, and a love that did not need grand gestures to exist. They spent time on causes they cared about, supported friends, and enjoyed routines that brought comfort. Their connection was grounded in authenticity and trust, showing that a meaningful life doesn't require spectacle, only commitment and companionship. Each evening, each conversation, and each small act of attentiveness helped fortify the bond that would later become the foundation for enduring one of life's toughest challenges together. The subtle signs. As the years passed, Jay noticed small changes in Mavis's behavior. Misplaced items, repeated questions, moments of forgetfulness. These signs, though subtle at first, grew more noticeable with time. Eventually, doctors confirmed what Jay had feared. Mavis was facing a serious cognitive decline. Though the diagnosis was heartbreaking, Jay never turned away. Instead, he prepared to embrace the new role that life required of him. For Jay, caring for Mavis was not a burden. It was the natural extension of the vows he had taken decades earlier. He stepped into this chapter with patience, compassion, and a determination to ensure her life remained filled with dignity and love. Daily acts of care. Caring for Mavis became a full-time responsibility for Jay, but he approached it with quiet strength. Each day involved simple yet profound acts of devotion, preparing meals, assisting with personal care, guiding her safely around the house, and holding her hand to provide reassurance. When she needed extra support, he would carry her gently, often with a touch of humor, reminding her of past joys and shared experiences. These were not glamorous moments, but they were deeply human and profoundly meaningful. Jay described this life not with drama or complaint, but with a quiet acceptance. This is what love is, and it is lived in the everyday attention and care for someone you cherish. Preserving connection. Jay worked tirelessly to maintain their connection. He used photographs, familiar music, and shared memories to spark recognition and comfort. He would read news articles aloud, watch beloved films repeatedly, and engage in gentle conversation, even when Mavis struggled to follow along. Every gesture, from holding her hand during quiet afternoons to adjusting her blanket or softening the lighting in a room, was a deliberate act to protect her comfort and dignity. Friends who visited noticed a profound change in Jay, a deepened quietness, a protective tenderness, a love that was patient and unwavering. While the public knew him as a comedian and TV host, those close to him witnessed the man who, without fanfare, dedicated himself to being present for the woman he loved. Love beyond recognition. Even as Mavis's memories faded, Jay found ways to honor her individuality and their shared history. He spoke to her with the same care and respect as when they first met, laughed with her at familiar jokes, and offered gestures of affection that were grounded in genuine warmth. Though she might not always remember the details of their life together, Jay's devotion ensured that she could still feel love. This commitment demonstrated that love is not always about recognition or reciprocation. It is about presence, patience, and an unwavering dedication to the well-being of another person. Finding joy in small moments. Though the couple could no longer travel or enjoy certain activities together, Jay found ways to bring joy into their days. They explored the world through videos and shows, celebrated familiar traditions, and shared moments of laughter and curiosity. Simple gestures, a drive around the neighborhood, looking at familiar sights, or watching animals on a screen, became opportunities to connect and create joy. Even in these quiet, modified routines, Jay's love was evident, not because of grand gestures, but because of his consistent effort to make each day meaningful. The strength of quiet devotion. Jay's role as a caretaker revealed a side of heroism often overlooked. While fame and accolades brought public recognition, the heroism of everyday love, the patient support, the gentle guidance, the small acts of care, remained largely unseen. Jay demonstrated that true strength is often quiet and uncelebrated, emerging not on stage, but in the tender moments of life shared with someone you cherish. By choosing presence over despair, patience over frustration, and love over resignation, Jay exemplified a depth of character rarely recognized but deeply inspiring, a love that endures. The story of Jay and Mavis Leno is in many ways a story of enduring love. It shows that devotion is not measured by grand gestures, public applause, or dramatic moments, but by the willingness to stand by someone through all seasons of life. Jay's dedication, care, and unshakable commitment to Mavis reveal that love is strongest not in easy times, but in those moments that demand courage, patience, and empathy. Each day, he continues to honor the bond they created decades ago, proving that the greatest acts of love are often the ones that go unseen by the world. Legacy of compassion. In the end, Jay Leno's greatest legacy is not the television awards, the successful career, or even the famous car collection. It is the life he has built at home, the devotion he has shown through years of quiet, patient care, and the example of a love that persists even when circumstances are extraordinarily challenging. By embracing the responsibilities of partnership in every sense, he has shown that true love is not always glamorous or celebrated, but it is enduring, selfless, and profoundly human. This quiet, steadfast devotion speaks volumes about the kind of man Jay is and the kind of love he believes in, a love that continues, no matter what changes life may bring.